Hey there, I'm the Secular Thinker, and bear with me here. I'm not sure what the best format is for reviewing these videos, but I just want to touch on something by someone named GodDownLow on YouTube, and he has a video called Atheists in Denial, so let's check that out. Alright, let's see what we're in denial about as atheists.
Okay, so as I read through the comments from my last video, I learned something new about atheists.
By the way, his last video was talking about how atheists, we can be good, but we shouldn't, and we're only good because we act as if there is a God, even though we claim that there's not a God. And he doesn't think that we actually believe that there's not a God, or something. I don't know, it was very confusing. I was going to respond to that video, but it was so long, and it was so boring, so I'm going to respond to this, because this one's a little shorter and a little crazier, so that'll be fun.
They are in denial, big time. And I don't mean denial of God's existence. I mean denial of atheism. They are simply not capable of accepting atheism for what it truly is.
Okay, I should remind everyone again that all atheism is the rejection of the notion of supernatural beings.
Now, before we go on, please, you atheists out there, try for a minute to back up. Forget about the Bible, about Christianity, about Judaism, Islam, religious extremists, etc.
Forgotten.
Just clear your mind of all that baggage. My videos focus on atheism and whether atheism provides better answers like you guys claim.
Wait, do atheists claim that atheism provides answers? Since when did atheism provide answers of anything? Most atheists would rely on science, logic, reason, and evidence for answers, but atheism itself is nothing more than rejecting the idea that there's a supernatural being. That doesn't really give us any answers other than the answer to the question, is there a supernatural being? We can say probably not. That's the only answer that atheism gives. We don't claim that it gives us answers. So right off the bat, I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, now in my last video, I laid out these lessons or conclusions of theism. Number one, we are all special creations. Number two, we all answer to an ultimate moral authority. And number three, we are all here on purpose. And
we all answer to an ultimate moral authority. I answer to myself and the people around me.
And on the flip side, here are the conclusions of atheism. Number one, we are all biological accidents.
Okay, biological accidents. Evolution, to characterize it as an accident is kind of missing the point. It's driven by random mutations and non-random selection pressures. So it's not completely by accident. There is a guiding principle, and it's just fitness. The fitter species, or the fitter members of a species will survive. So it's not a complete accident. I mean, technically the beginning of life, you could consider it an accident, but don't confuse it with complete randomness, as a lot of theists seem to.
Number two, there is no ultimate moral authority. Morality is subjective.
Yeah, morality is subjective.
And number three, there is no real purpose to our existence. Not one atheist has been able to successfully disprove those conclusions.
Why would we try to disprove those conclusions? I happen to agree with his conclusions of atheism that morality is subjective. I believe that humans have an innate sense of morality that can be explained through evolution, but it is subjective. I don't see any evidence for it being absolute. There's absolutely no evidence, pardon the pun, I'm sorry, it's so late, I'm so tired. So pardon the pun, but there's absolutely no evidence for absolute morality. It is subjective. Different cultures have different morality, but by and large there are some things that are taboo in most places due to humans' innate, evolved sense of basic morality, which tells us that murder and rape are generally wrong, although people still do those things because either there's something preventing them from seeing right and wrong the way that most humans naturally do, or because they think they can get away with it, or whatever. But I'm not going to try to disprove these claims like that morality is subjective, because I happen to agree that it is.
As an atheist, you certainly can be good and honest and respectful and caring and loving, etc. And how exactly do you do that? By rejecting the conclusions of atheism.
No, you don't need to reject... Okay, I hope that this guy, this GodDownLow, sees this video. We don't need to reject the idea of absolute morality in order to be good. It's common sense that, you know, people don't like to be harmed, people don't like to be punched in the face or raped or killed or stolen from. So it doesn't take a father figure in the sky or any sort of scientific formula or anything. Most people with normally functioning brains have an innate sense that these things are wrong, and it's not because of God, it's because of evolution and our capacity to think and to empathize, which came about through evolution as well.
Under atheism, our existence is objectively meaningless.
Alright, how is there more purpose if God created everyone for a purpose? Then it's God's purpose and it's not our purpose, and we're just pawns in God's galactic, I don't know if you'd call it a chess game, but God's master plan of the universe. We'd all just be fulfilling our destiny. There'd be no free will if there's an all-knowing, all-powerful God, because, you know, the whole argument, if he's all-knowing, then he knows what we're going to do. So then we have no free will, and we've been created to just play a part in his plan. So how is that more meaningful than the meaning that we give our own lives? How is the meaning of a God saying, I will create you this way and you will do these things, and presumably you have no free will? That's what follows naturally, as far as I can tell, from accepting an all-knowing God. I just don't see how that gives you more meaning than being an atheist.
It is only through delusion and denial that any satisfying meaning can be found in your life.
Okay, so even if our lives are objectively meaningless, we can still live, we can still be good to each other. Just because there's no external mind who gave us a purpose at birth, it doesn't mean that we can't lead successful, good lives. Yes, ultimately, from a scientific perspective, morality and success and tenacity are all kind of meaningless, but they're not meaningless to us because we can understand these things as humans who can have complex thoughts. We can give our own lives meaning, even though there's no outside source of meaning or purpose or morality. And this guy, I'm too tired for this. I am so sorry that this is going to be a bad video. I can deny all of the conclusions of theism, and still that doesn't destroy my life, and it doesn't make me a hypocrite for living as if my life has some meaning to me.
Because under atheism, your only hope for a happy and fulfilling life is to live in denial.
Well, one of us is living in denial, and I am falling asleep. And I'm just going to get this video up. I would tell you to go check out his original video, and I'll probably still put the link here. Or here. I'll put the link somewhere. And, but he's disabled ratings. I think that he's still... I'm not going to tell you to go, like, downvote him or anything. I'm not vicious like that. But I think comments are still enabled, but... yeah, so I'm a secular thinker, and I am way too tired to be making videos right now. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe if you want for some reason. I'm not that entertaining, but maybe you think I am. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.